Hey folks, hope you're doing well and enjoying Bloodborne. With the game's recent release, there's been a lot of talk about platform exclusivity and the pros and cons. I thought I'd put out a quick video and present my thoughts on the matter. Platform exclusivity refers to the decision by a game developer to release a title on a specific platform but not others. Before diving into my thoughts, I want to parse this definition a little bit. There are a couple of implicit assumptions here that I don't think get called out enough. One, when folks talk about exclusivity, they usually imply exclusion. This means the developer specifically chose or was contractually obligated not to release on other platforms. Most platform-exclusive titles, however, are not developed in this way. Most developers lack the resources, technical know-how, or both to deliver multi-platform titles. As an example, Steam currently lists about 3 times as many games as the Xbox platform. Most of these titles are not intentionally excluding console platforms. It's mostly that developing a game solely for the PC platform is simpler, easier, and cheaper. Second, there are a number of different kinds of platform exclusivity. Timed exclusivity means a game is exclusive to a single platform for a fixed period of time. Content exclusivity means a game is multi-platform, but supports special content on a subset of those platforms. And I'm sure there are other kinds too. My larger point is that exclusivity is an overloaded term, so I'll do my best to use exact language. I'll refer to Bloodborne-style exclusivity, a title released for a single platform, ostensibly forever, as classic exclusivity, since it's generally what people refer to when discussing this topic. There are a number of different reasons a title might be exclusive to a single platform. The most obvious is financial support from the platform owner. Some interpret this as akin to a bribe, but it's not substantially different from a publishing agreement. It's more accurate to think about it like this. The developer is signing a publishing agreement, one of whose conditions is platform exclusivity. This is a win-win arrangement that often determines whether a title is developed in the first place. It can facilitate the development of creatively risky games that help a platform stand out, like Demon's Souls. But what about developers that have the financial resources and market track record to release their games without the financial assistance of a publisher? Why do these companies still accept exclusivity agreements? One good reason is technical support. Anyone who's developed software is familiar with the invaluable insights an API owner can provide on optimal use. This is particularly true when APIs are poorly documented or organized, such as in console video game SDKs. Add in unfamiliarity with a new platform and a desire to build a next-generation engine, and you quickly have a lot of good reasons to work side by side with the API owner. A good illustration of the difference this can make is the scrapped lighting engine in Dark Souls 2. The development team was forced to scrap this idea midway through development when they recognized they would be unable to deliver it at an acceptable frame rate. This is precisely where a platform owner can help. If engaged early in development, they can leverage their deep knowledge of the platform to accurately predict what kind of performance trade-offs will be required to deliver certain features. It's not uncommon for 2 similar use cases to have wildly different performance characteristics due to the way a platform is designed, and the owner can deftly guide users in the right direction. These early decisions make a big difference when it comes to shrink-wrapped software, where pivoting later in the development process can be extremely expensive. However, just to emphasize my point, it's not the only place a platform owner can prove invaluable. The owner can spot performance red flags early by knowing which metrics to look at, give guidance on which features to cut to gain back the most performance, and provide platform-specific optimizations based on knowledge of the underlying implementation of the API. Had Dark Souls 2 been built alongside Sony, it would have been clear early in the development process that the new lighting engine, plus all of the new features in the new engine, could not feasibly run on last-generation consoles, at least without significant investment in performance optimization. Instead, what probably happened is that a team at From built a technical prototype to validate the idea and decided to move forward based on that. The performance implications of scaling that demo onto an entire game world weren't realized until much later in the development process. I based this guess on the original footage of Dark Souls 2, which amounts to little more than a technical demo, and doesn't include the complexity that would eventually drag down performance, such as environmental details and multiple enemy mobs. This is precisely the type of easy-to-overlook complexity that a platform owner would pinpoint as a potential issue early in the development process. Finally, note that technical assistance should not be viewed as some sort of transient support contract. The expertise and insight that a platform owner provides is effectively a business asset, knowledge a team can use when developing later projects. The primary technical innovation in Dark Souls, the single interconnected environment, was built on top of a foundation developed by Demon Souls. The team could concentrate on augmenting an already solid engine. I would argue that this remains the case today, with Bloodborne acting as this generation's Demon Souls. Aside from financial support and technical assistance, there are a number of minor considerations that a development team might make when weighing an exclusivity offer. Small, independent games are disproportionately affected by the free marketing and marketplace visibility that a platform owner can provide. As mentioned, platform owners are more willing to take creative risks with exclusive titles because they help differentiate the platform. But a development company wants more than just the release of their creatively risky title. They want it to succeed. The closed garden nature of consoles in particular gives platform owners significant leverage in making this possible. Are exclusivity deals inherently bad for consumers? If you've gotten this far, I hope you can appreciate the ways an exclusivity arrangement can tangibly benefit games, from facilitating the creation of creatively risky games to allowing development teams to focus on solving the right problems rather than getting bogged down in technical dead ends. There are, of course, downsides. Consumers outside the target platform miss out on exclusives. The simple inability to play a game, compounded by ecosystem lock-in and smug marketing campaigns, is frustrating for consumers. This is especially painful for franchises. Waiting for years for a sequel only to find out you won't be able to play it is an understandably upsetting experience. Exclusivity is a business risk too. Limiting a title's potential audience forces a lower ceiling on potential sales. It ties the success of a release to the success of the platform. It limits franchising potential, with future multi-platform titles having the same risks as a new IP, despite the development cost of meeting higher expectations of existing customers. Existing franchises risk alienating customers. While I disagree with both the tone and the message of the petition calling for Bloodborne to be released for PC, I can understand why those folks are upset. Nintendo is a shining example of how exclusivity is a double-edged sword. On the plus side, its emphasis on a unified hardware and software platform enables the company to deliver polished titles that push the boundaries of what the system is capable of. On the minus side, its excellent games are coupled to the success of Nintendo's platform, often resulting in subpar sales. When it comes to Bloodborne, I think the exclusivity thinking is straightforward. Pre-release interviews indicate both Mr. Miyazaki and Sony wanted to work together again on a new title. The drastic upgrade in graphical fidelity alongside a reasonable frame rate likely would not have been possible without first-party technical assistance. The arrangement is mutually beneficial, and I don't see any malicious intent. I would certainly appreciate a PC port, although after purchasing a PS4 largely to play this one game, it would certainly be bittersweet. That's everything for today. I'll catch you next time.